Hello everybody, this is Josh Sigmund with Legacy Mutual Mortgage and your tip of the week. I just wanted to give you a little update on something that's been fresh in my mind. Really simply, I think it's always extraordinary to me how everyone starts at the beginning of the year with great plans and visions of grandeur about what they're going to accomplish, both business-wise and personally each year. And yet at the end of the year, there's so many variances that come up and people either come up shy or they exceed their plans and they're not really sure why. And I think it really boils down to just a few things. What the first thing I think is typically mindset. I think a lot of people are in the wrong mindset. So the two mindsets in theory are cause and effect. People that live in the effect mindset they are impacted by outside forces. It's if the customer service survey came in at 70%, then it's their fault. They're crazy. Instead of what could I have done better, what was the cause and something that I could have controlled to make the experience better. Same thing with the plan. The reason I didn't hit the plan is because X, rather than what I could have done to better the plan is Y. So getting yourself in the mindset of we are the leaders and we are the cause of our own demise and or successes is a first step anyways. The second thing is it's really cool to understand what the barriers to a plan is, and really what it comes down to here is execution. What is the difference in the execution of plans? I read a great article online, and basically what I'll paraphrase it, but it suggested that there's 5 real barriers to the execution of plans. The first barrier is that the underlying strategy itself is not clear. So what that means is there's a difference between saying that I want to live a healthier lifestyle in 2015 versus saying that I want to lose 15 pounds, run 3 days a week, and so on and so forth. So the difference really is, do you have measurable, executable, time frame based plans or not? General statements don't really get people very far. And also if you have a team, making sure that the team or coworkers actually understands what you're trying to accomplish. Supposedly some 86% of all employees have no clue what the plan is for the company and or how to execute it. So first barrier is make sure that your strategy itself is clear in order to not get the first stop point. The second one is the plan itself is overly optimistic. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I don't think that anyone has a limitation. They could double their business. They could lose 50 pounds in a year. They could run a marathon in 1 year's time. I don't think that that's what I mean by the optimism. Instead, they decide that they want to have 50 different points that they want to work on in their business or personal life. That's the optimism that's the problem. The adage is the best way to eat an elephant is 1 bite at a time. And so what we don't want to do is load on 100 things to change our life, or business-wise or personal. Just pick 1 or 2 things that you're going to work on until it's accomplished and systematized and executed on. So over-optimism is a problem for a lot of people. The way to fix that really, guys, is to create 3 different buckets, and the 3 different buckets are how you prioritize things. The first bucket is the immediate, the must-do, the I need right now. Like your doctor says, if you don't stop eating 100 grams of sugar a day, you will die. Start effective immediately. Don't eat sugar. That's kind of the thought process. So what needs to be accomplished immediately? The second one is I'd like to have soon. That might be a 3 to 7 month, 3 to 9 month goal time frame. And then the I'd like to have one day is when I have the resources, the time, the energy, or the money to put that into place, then I will work on those priorities. So that's the second barrier. The third barrier is that no one's really accountable to results. Like if you think about why so many people fail with their New Year's resolutions, it's really simply because, say, I want to lose 10 pounds, but what's the consequence? The difference might be, say, hey, if I don't lose, I'm going to go ahead and assign my best friend as my accountability partner, and if I don't lose 10 pounds by February 28th, then I have to give $500 to a charity of his choice. Well, that increases the accountability. Business-wise, too, it's whatever. You all know what you can do to be a better employee or boss. You all know what could push you to the next level, but most of us aren't willing to do the work because ultimately we are our own bosses as an employee sometimes, and we just choose not to because it's just not easy. So have some sort of accountability system increases your odds of actually good execution of and mastery of the plan. The fourth barrier is the plan has not been actively deployed. So what I mean by this is New Year's resolutions are typically done once, sent by email or written down one time, put in a drawer and literally locked up like they're the secret to the nuclear warheads, what the actual, you have the codes to the warheads, or you have the secret to life and you lock it up and no one sees it, including yourself. So the idea then is if you're going to have some sort of new plan, especially if you have coworkers or employees involved, you can't talk about it once. You have to talk about it often, weekly, monthly, quarterly at the maximum. It must be visible. It must be in a position where you can actually see it, do it, work on it, and it's very clear about what the point of this is. Why are these things happening, and what is the benefit to our company, our team, or our client? So it's got to be really developed. No great idea is talked about one time. You got to talk about it again and again and again. Print up a couple copies, put one in your house, put one in lipstick on your mirror, put one in your car that you read, leave one on your desk. I literally have my plan framed on my desk as far as what I am accountable to this year. So if even a client or a coworker can walk in and see what I'm working on, what's most important to me right now. Last but not least, the fifth barrier is the plan itself is typically static. So what does that mean? Well, our industry, the mortgage industry, for example, is very dynamic. It's changing all the time. We're getting new legislative changes, new company changes, new industry changes, FHA changes the mortgage insurance premium for the better. There's new guideline overlay. I mean, there's just nonstop change. And so if you think that your plan is actually relevant in January as it is in May or July or October, you're typically wrong in most, whether it's business or professionally. Like at the time in December, you might have just had a great month-long time frame of loving on your family, loving on your friends because it was the holidays. And so you might not have had so much impact in your plan as far as contact with your mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle. Well, come April, you might have not talked to your mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, uncle for literally the last 3 months. So the plan itself about how to be a loving father, husband, sister, whatever, might need to change, just like it happens in business. The priorities tend to change over the year. So the idea then is that the plan has to be visible, accessible, and more importantly, it's got to be changeable. So at the end of the day, guys, if you start to understand why plans don't typically succeed, and you believe that it's one of two things, either the wrong mindset first, or there's some barrier to the plan through execution. The execution of the plan is flawed in and of itself. Then you have a better understanding of what will work. So if you work on these 5 things plus your mindset, I have no doubt that your 2015 personal and professional year will be the best year ever. Again, this is Josh Sigmund, Legacy Mutual Mortgage, with your tip of the week. If you have any questions or comments or emails, just email me at josh@legacymutual.com or call me at 210-492-4900. Have a blessed day. Take care.